Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney, and we are answering publicly posted questions on YouTube, giving folks the answers they need from an employment attorney. It's what we do. We have a question here from YouTube user Poor Man's Outdoor, which sounds like a pretty great channel. Maybe you have a channel. I don't know. But if you have a Poor Man's Outdoor channel, I'd probably watch that. That sounds lovely. And Poor Man's Outdoor asked us, would it be retaliation if your employer reinstated your job and then fired you again? With the first time being discrimination. So I'm assuming what you mean is that you had been terminated early on due to some form of discrimination. You brought a case or something happened and they hired you back. And then after they hired you back, they waited a little while and then they terminated you again. And you look like you clarify here, or you ask a second question. Would it be more difficult to file a claim after the second termination if the second termination was claimed to be for a poor fit or poor performance? Okay. So I'm going to assume what you mean is that you got fired from your job due to some form of discrimination. You had a case or something happened and they brought you back. They realized they were in trouble. And then once all the attorneys went away or the agencies or just everything died down, they bided their time and then they went ahead and terminated you again. And it seems like your question is, could that be viewed as a retaliation claim? Simple answer, yes. Your next question is, would it be difficult to file a claim after the second termination if the second termination was claimed to be for poor fit or poor performance? So those are common pretexts for termination that employers will use. And here's why. Define a poor fit for me. Really difficult to do. What does that mean in this context? It is difficult to know, right? That's one of the reasons why people say, hey, it just wasn't a good fit. Because it doesn't really mean anything. I mean, what that really means is we don't want you here or we don't want to say the real reason, right? That's what they mean when they say, hey, it's a poor fit. And poor performance, that's a little bit different because poor performance can just be like them coming and saying, hey, we don't think you're doing a great job, which sounds like a pretext to me. Sounds fake, sounds intangible, sounds hard to quantify. Let's see the data on that, right? But the other side of that coin is some employers are very, very good at collecting data and they can come back and be like, hey, here's your performance over the past 6 months and you're doing 1/10 the work of everybody else at your same title and pay grade. So your performance objectively does suck and you need to go. So if it's poor fit or like poor performance without any data attached to it, then yes, I think you have a very solid retaliation claim. And it would actually be easier potentially to prove that retaliation claim. And what you want to do is go on the channel and look at some of our videos about retaliation claims, about the burden shifting. The evidentiary burden shifting on a retaliation claim really favors the employee in these claims. So I think it'd be really easy. But again, let's flip that coin. If they're coming to you and being like, we have the data, we have the camera footage, we have the data on what you produce, what you do in your job, you're making 1/10 the calls or putting together 1/10 the widgets or just making 1/10 the sales of all your similarly situated peers, well, that's going to be a really difficult retaliation claim because it's just them saying, hey, sorry, but empirically, you suck. And like, yeah, we had the discrimination case and we brought you back, but since we brought you back, the data says you don't care about this job and you're barely doing it. At that point, that's going to be a really bad retaliation claim, but I suspect that's not what's going on here from the way you're saying it. I suspect it sounds like you have a really great retaliation claim and they're coming up with pretexts or poorly defined reasons to terminate you that you can probably kind of like slam dunk on, right? And I'm not calling your case a slam dunk. I don't do that. Cases are not ever going to be slam dunks in this field. And I will never, ever say that. And I've never, ever said that. And every time people say like, oh, I got a slam dunk, I'll be like, hold the phone. That's not a thing. But that being said, it sounds like a good, solid retaliation case, I suspect, based on the way you're asking the question. So, Poor Man's Outdoors, I hope this is helpful. If it is, like and subscribe. It does help me to help more people just like you. And yeah, if you got a YouTube channel, link it up, man. or person. I don't want to assume your pronouns here, but we'll link it up. We'd like to see your economical outdoor ways. I would view that channel. That sounds fun. All right. Take care, everybody, and good day.